This lesson will be exploring modeling 234 Berkeley, which is the restoration hardware building. Some work had to be done to the CAD drawings to correct them. I'll explain. I open them. I think it's a wonderful building for thesis. It's unique in the central atrium space that it has in the flanking stairwells. So the I'll open first the original. I think we're in that directory. Okay, so we're in the handouts for that building shell, and I'll explain what the problem is. So we have a plan and an elevation drawing, and whoever the citizen was that started to work with this correctly started thinking that, okay, some alignment is in place. I'm going to copy that line and show that it, well, if we paste it to this side and extend it, it clearly F8 to ortho mode clearly doesn't meet that side, right? So this set of lines should be in width, about the width of that. Anyway, the corrected drawing is in my documents. Not H, not that, not that, not this one. Be modified. There's my plan with the corrections. So you see that I take the plans that we had and then try to align the elevation with the elements that appear within it. How are we doing on time? 3 minutes. So if I bring this drawing into SketchUp, I'll lose all the annotations, if that's all right. Let's start SketchUp. Let's go to top view, change the camera to parallel, and see if we can import this CAD drawing. One of the problems sometimes when you're working with version 2018 of AutoCAD, SketchUp has difficulty. Okay, the import failed. The import failed because the drawing is in 2018 format, so we have to save as. I'm going to dial it back to 2004, which seems to present generally fewer. V 2004, give it a meaningful name. Go back to SketchUp, import that drawing, and it looks like that worked okay. So there's some other junk I drew in the drawing. So it's about 100 feet wide. Let's check quickly the dimensions. 106 feet from there to there. We measured 104 originally. When you import CAD, and there's something already in the model, generally it imports as a group or component. So we want to create some layers. Oh, and it brings in all the AutoCAD that was associated with the original AutoCAD file. So I select all those layers, hit delete, and move everything to the default layer. Create a new layer called AutoCAD Underlay, and take this element and move it to it. In this way, I can turn off and on the CAD underlay. So let's start with the plan. This is the lower level. This is the first floor. I think I want to get rid of some of these lines. So, except for the ones that are aligning the column elements. The outside edges of those. Oh, why not? Why not remove all of them? That's the center line. This is separate. It's a block. Okay. Sometimes we lock that in place. So I could take this and let's set the corner at the origin. This is pretty good practice, so why not do that? I'll create a corner. Take these two lines, Control X. Forgot when you crisscross lines, they divides. And I'm going to use that point as the origin. So let's double click, edit, paste in place, close this component, and move this result to the origin from that intersection, just so that we have a reference. Right. I can divide up the different parts. So we need to turn this into a plan somehow. I'm going to look at the exterior walls. And the columns. These are very irregular profile elements. But one thing we could do, so let's say we decided to model from inside face of walls. So I'm forming an inside perimeter. It doesn't quite line up, but we're gonna, for now, ignore that. And you might ask, right, why am I going around what appears to be the sill of the windows? Well, that's the thickness of that wall. It's pretty massive. This is my interior space. If I switch the X-ray, you can see through this. So we still haven't dealt with the columns. So let's leave it on X-ray for now and go around the exterior perimeter. So I'm just drawing. Sometimes you start this without knowing quite where we're going to end up. But you do realize that I'm ignoring these little indentations for now. So we think we've defined the inside face of walls. Now we're just going around the exterior of the building. I'm also ignoring the procession of stairs that happens before the entry. I'm ascribing that massive thickness to the structure itself. Tricks that we could have employed. It's highly formal and symmetrical, so if I modeled half of it, I could theoretically, I believe that's where I started. Right? So if I take 1, 2, 3, those elements and remove them, I end up with a profile that's forming largely the wall masses, including the party walls there. So if I were to push these, oops, in height, let's say I push them the height of the building. Well, we saw the Sanborn map. It told us that the very top is 65 feet and the outside were 47. Let's just say 65 feet and do that. Okay, so now I have a rough prototype of this building. The massive thickness of the walls. We don't have the form of the outside. We haven't punched the openings for the doors and windows, but we have roughly the outline of the building walls, and we can start with that. We'll continue the next lesson with what sort of further inferences we can make to inform this model and continue.